Meet breaks down in tears after her argument with Meet Ahlawat. Meet finally discovers that Ram Ahlawat is the real murderer. But is this the complete truth? And what more is left to uncover? Abirana plans to make Raj take the fall for his crimes, and Meet goes to Abirana's house to find more evidence about her father's murder. Meanwhile, Meet handcuffs Meet Ahlawat for obstructing her duty, and Masoom makes trouble for Meet during dinner. How will Meet put up with the hatred from the Ahlawat family? Please watch this video to the very end to get the full gist. And with that said, let's get into the details. Meet goes to her room, closes the door, and starts crying. She looks at Meet Ahlawat's picture and thinks about his behavior. Meet Ahlawat gets very angry. Ragini stops him and says you love her a lot, so much that you are hurting yourself because she is hurt. Meet Ahlawat says I am here because of my dad and he is in jail because of Meet. What should I do? Ragini says you called your father a hero, but you insulted him. Do you think he will support your decision? He loves Meet like his daughter. He always stood against everyone for Meet, and he would never ask anyone to leave the house. And I know you love her a lot. You helped her become a police officer, and now you ask her to quit. She must be so hurt. Look what you have done today. She loves you the most in the whole world, and look what you have done. Meet looks at photo and says I will give my life for you and not just my job. But why don't you understand that being in the police force is very important for my father? I can't become weak. I won't cry. I won't quit. It is my mission to bring my father home and get rid of false accusations. Meet Ahlawat visits the police station. He brings food for him. Halwada stops him and asks him to get permission from Inspector Meet. Meet Ahlawat refuses to talk to her and says my father suffers from heart attack. If you have humanity in you, give this food to my father. Meet watches everything. Meet Ahlawat kisses the flags on the table and leaves. Meet feeds Raj. He asks, are you breaking rules? Meet says I am not. This is food from my house. Have it. Did you think only your son will bring you food? I brought this food for you and I will eat the food Meet Ahlawat brought. Raj is in tears seeing Meet's efforts and blesses her, saying you take so much care of all of us. I am sure you must be facing a lot of hatred in the house, but you are still here. Where do you get strength to forgive everyone? Meet wipes his tears and says because I am lucky to have fathers like you and my father who taught me so much good, and this fight is for justice for both of them. Why aren't you telling me the truth you wrote about Abirana in your confession? And why didn't he come here if he was his sister? Say something. Raj doesn't answer. Meet says I will find out the truth and talk to Abirana. Raj says don't go there. Meet says this means there is something at his house. I have to go, please. Meet Ahlawat is on call with lawyer to find some loophole to bring Raj home. Babita says come with me to Abe's house. Only he will be able to help us. Meet goes to Abirana's house. Abe says Inspector Hooda, what are you doing here? Meet says I am here from the police department. We need some answers for Ashok Hooda's case. Abirana says I am a good citizen and know the responsibility, so I will help. Babita says Abe helped you in your medical case. Meet Ahlawat says Meet helped me. Meet asks Abe where is Artie. Abe says she is happily married and she is abroad, so keep her out of it. Meet says okay, tell us about the driver. Abe says we were going to leave him, but Ashok Hooda came there. We all got into an argument, and Raj by mistake, I don't know why, he shot him. Meet asks why were you quiet for so long? Abe says he is my sister's husband, and so I was hopeless. Meet asks Abe why didn't you destroy the pen drive? Why did you keep it for so many years? Abe says how do you know it was found in my house? Stop playing with fire. Let Raj be punished, and he has confessed too, so give justice to your father. Babita says my brother will save Raj. Meet Ahlawat says mom trust me, I am working on it. Give me some time. We all know dad is innocent. And when I asked Uncle Abe, doesn't he know that dad is in jail? He couldn't come to help you. You have to ask for it. But if you want me to go, then I will go and request his help. Abe says to Meet, go and relax and freshen up for the next case. Meet says thank you for the advice. Abe says to Meet, I have a tight schedule. I am a minister. I won't be free like this. Get an appointment next time. Meet thinks I only have two missions, to prove my father innocent and show your true face. Meet Ahlawat is in the car thinking about how to get dad out of jail and sees his dad sitting next to him and says how will you ask the same person who put us in trouble for help? If you beg him for help, then we will be humiliated. Meet Ahlawat asks then how will I help you? Raj says don't do anything that will compromise your self-respect. I am strong and can handle anything, but if you take these steps, then I will break. Meet Alabat comes out of his imagination. He gets out of his car and walks inside the mansion. Everyone is at the dining table. Miss Alavat gives juice to Babita and says you should have something. Drink this juice for dad. Babita asks everyone to sit for dinner. Miss Alavat says don't worry mom, soon dad will be back and everything will be back to normal. Miss Alavat says food. Meet sees him from a distance and smiles. Dugu asks me to have dinner with them. Meet tries to sit, but Sunaina says this seat is for Meet Alavat. Masum takes Meet's plate from her hand. Meet tries to take fruits, but Masum stops her and takes everything from Meet. Hoshia says at least let her have food to eat. Masum says don't forget you live in my house. If you need food, then stop supporting her. And says look, Meet is trying to have dinner with us after sending father to jail. Do you think you are part of this family? Definitely not. You have lost all the respect of this house. Meat takes Masum's plate. Masum complains to Meet Alavat. Meat takes the plate and sits beside Meet Alavat and asks him why are you staring at me? You took an oath to take care of me in any condition when we got married. She says to Masum, I know he won't break the promise he made to me, so let's sit and have dinner. Meat is in the study room trying to find a clue. He sees a safe and says something inside it can help me bring dad out of jail. Meet Alavat stops Meet from opening the safe. Meet says I am investigating. Meet Alavat says you are not allowed to investigate without a warrant. Meet says police requires a warrant, but here I am a daughter trying to save her father, so I don't need a warrant to search. Meet Alavat holds her hand to take her out, but she makes him sit on a chair and handcuffs him. Meet Alavat asks, what did you do? Meet says this was the same thing you did to me during Isha's marriage. Meet Alavat says my other hand is free. Meet ties his hand with a curtain. Meet Alavat gets angry and says release me. Meet says I don't feel good tying you like this. I know you will not help me in my work, so stay here. Meet Alavat says I will shout. Meet puts clothes in his mouth and says sit quietly and let me do my work. Meet walks to the safe and thinks how do I open this? Meet Alavat starts laughing at her. Meet walks to him and asks what happened. Am I doing a comedy show? Meet Alavat teases her because of the digital lock. Meet asks him Babita's birth date. Meet Alavat says 14 and shouts. Meet tapes his mouth and puts in Raj and Babita's anniversary date too. The safe gets unlocked and she finds jewelry in the safe. Meet thinks how is this here? We buried it in the garden. She remembers Babita saying that Raj always makes two jewelry for Ram the same way I do for my kids. Meet walks out of the room. Meet Alavat struggles to free himself. Ram is in his room. Meet walks to him and tries the bracelet on his hand and says this means the bracelet is yours. This means that you are the murderer of my father and Raj saved you. She sits and asks why did you kill my father? Forget about my father. What about Raj? He is your brother. Why did you let him take the blame for your crime? Why aren't you answering? You know when someone sacrifices in relationships, he becomes one step closer to being God. And Raj has become one. And when someone else cheats, he gets a step closer to hell. You must think how will I prove with bracelets in court? But remember, God also judges everyone, and when he will accuse you, you will have to accept your crime. She starts walking away. Ram stops her and says, Meet, your father was murdered by me. Meet is in tears. Ram says Raj took all the blame on himself. I was scared and a coward. I wish I accepted my crime few years back, but Rana asked me to sit quiet, and I did whatever he asked me to do. Rana used his powers to bury the case, then suddenly, Raj came to know about the pen drive, and he asked me not to tell anyone. I'm a murderer. I killed your father, and I did more to hide the truth. Today, this family is on the verge of breaking, and I can't do anything. Meet says I don't know if I will be able to forgive you, but I know I will prove Raj innocent. I request you, till the time I prove Raj innocent, please be quiet. She leaves the room. Ram is in tears crying on the floor. So that is how Meet will find new evidence that will help her in unveiling the real murderer of her father. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please like this video. You can also subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below. You can also check out this channel for more updates on your favorite Zeeworld series and celebrities. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.